August 26, 2023, 3:47 p.m. Robotyne, Zaporizhzhia Oblast. Russian mechanized column advances. 11 vehicles, 3 BMP-2 infantry fighting vehicles, 4 BTR-82A armored personnel carriers, 2 T-72 tanks, 2 trucks with supplies and infantry, moving toward Ukrainian positions near Robotyne village. Standard tactical movement, column formation, 50-meter spacing between vehicles, proceeding along dirt road through agricultural fields. No reconnaissance, no drone coverage, no awareness that 800 meters ahead American M2A2 Bradley fighting vehicle waits in tree line. Crew watching, thermal sights locked, 25mm Bushmaster cannon loaded, tow missiles ready. Bradley commander sees Russian column, 11 targets, calculates engagement sequence, prioritizes threats. Tanks first, most dangerous. Then BMPs, carry anti-tank missiles. Then BTRs and trucks. 15 minutes to destroy everything or die trying. Crew is silent, professional. Waiting. Russian column continues, unaware. 600 meters, 500 meters, 400 meters. Bradley doesn't fire. Waits. Let them enter optimal range. Let them commit to route. No escape. At 4:02 p.m., 15 minutes after engagement began, 11 Russian vehicles are destroyed or abandoned. 0 Ukrainian losses. Bradley crew confirmed 11 kills. First tank at 380 meters. Last truck at 520 meters. Perfect ambush. Perfect execution. Perfect lesson in how single Western IFV with trained crew destroys entire mechanized column when Russians provide perfect target. This is IronBullet. And what happened at Robotyne wasn't luck. It was professional military execution against incompetent enemy movements. Where American technology meets Ukrainian training meets Russian tactical failures. Where one Bradley crew demonstrates why Western equipment is force multiplier. Not because technology is magic, but because trained crews using equipment correctly can achieve results disproportionate to numbers. The question isn't whether Bradley can kill 11 vehicles in 15 minutes. Combat footage proves it can. Question is how, what specific tactical sequence enabled this, why Russians provided perfect target, and what this reveals about asymmetry between professional Western-trained forces and Soviet doctrine forces that haven't evolved. Official Ukrainian statements after engagement. Pride. Videos released showing Bradley destroying Russian vehicles systematically. Each kill filmed. Each recorded. Propaganda value is immense. American equipment working as designed. Ukrainian crews trained to Western standards executing perfectly. Narrative is powerful. Western support is decisive. Technology works. Training works. Russia louses. All true. All incomplete. Because victory isn't just technology. It's knowing when and how to use it. Russian statements, silence initially. Then excuses. Tactical withdrawal. No acknowledgement that entire column was destroyed by single vehicle. No explanation for why column was moving without reconnaissance or air defense. Just silence and lies. Standard Russian response to tactical disasters. Pretend it didn't happen. Even when video proves it did. Stay with me. Because the detail that explains Robotyne ambush, why one Bradley killed 11 Russian vehicles, is going to show you that modern warfare isn't about tank versus tank duels. It's about information, positioning, and crew competence. Bradley knew Russians were coming. Russians didn't know Bradley was there. That information asymmetry is decisive. Bradley was positioned perfectly. Russians were exposed. That positioning asymmetry is decisive. Bradley crew was trained, practiced, professional. Russian crews were following doctrine without thinking. that competence asymmetry is decisive. All three combined create massacre, not battle. Massacre. Let's establish what actually happened. Minute by minute, kill by kill. Robotyne area. Late August 2023. Ukrainian counter-offensive is grinding forward. Slow. Costly. But forward. Robotyne village contested. Russians hold positions south of village. Ukrainians north and west. Front line is fluid. Dangerous. Perfect for ambush warfare. Both sides conduct reconnaissance. Both sides maneuver. But Russians do it badly. Ukrainians do it professionally. This difference matters. Lethally. Bradley fighting vehicle. American M2A2 variant. Crew 3. Commander. Gunner. Driver. Plus 6 infantry in back for this mission. Vehicle specs 25mm M242 Bushmaster autocannon. 900 rounds ready. Penetrates light armor. Destroys trucks, BMPs, BTRs easily. Struggles against heavy armor frontally. But side and rear shots, lethal. Also carries TOW missiles. 2 launcher tubes. Anti-tank capability. Can kill any Russian armor at 4,000 meters. But visual range is 1,000 meters typically. So TOW advantage is theoretical mostly. Thermal sights. This matters enormously. Bradley crew sees heat signatures through vegetation, smoke, dust. Russians in Soviet-era vehicles mostly lack equivalent thermal capability. See optically. Through periscopes. Limited visibility. Limited awareness. This asymmetry is why Bradley sees Russians before Russians see Bradley. Technology isn't magic, but thermal imaging is decisive advantage in ambush scenarios. Russian column. 11 vehicles. Moving from Russian-held territory toward Robotyne. Mission unclear. Probably reinforcement. Possibly reconnaissance in force. Definitely poorly executed. Column is exposed. No reconnaissance drones. No air cover. No dismounted infantry screening flanks. Just vehicles on road assuming area is safe. Assumption is wrong. Lethally wrong. 3:47 p.m. Bradley crew spots Russian column. Distance 1,200 meters. Too far for effective engagement. Commander decides, wait, let them close, track them movement. Prepare firing sequence. Crew confirms equipment. Bushmaster ready. TAR ready. Thermal sights tracking targets. Driver position vehicle for optimal firing position and escape route. Everything prepared. Just waiting. Russians cooperate by continuing advance. 3:52 p.m. Russian column 600 meters away. Bradley commander finalizes engagement plan. Sequence: TOW missile at lead tank. Switch to Bushmaster. Engage BMPs. Then BTRs. Then second tank if it hasn't retreated. Then trucks. Fast. Systematic. Professional. Gunner confirms understanding. Driver ready to displace after engagement. 15 minutes or they're dead. Russians will respond. Artillery. Drones. Reinforcements. Must kill everything and leave before response arrives. 3:55 p.m. Range 380 meters. Perfect. Commander gives order. Fire. TOW missile launches. Loud. Obvious. Bradley's position is revealed immediately. Doesn't matter if first shot kills. Doesn't matter if it misses. Missile guides via wire. Operator keeps crosshairs on target. Tank doesn't know it's targeted until missile arrives. Takes 3.2 seconds. Tank sees launch. Crew panics. No time to respond. Missile impacts turret side. Penetrates. Catastrophic kill. Turret doesn't explode off like Hollywood. Just fire. Crew evacuates or dies inside. First kill. 3:55.03 p.m. Russian column reacts. BMPs turn turrets toward treeline. Can't see Bradley precisely. Thermal camouflage and vegetation conceal exact position. They know general direction, not specific location. Fire machine guns and autocannons at treeline. Random suppression. Hope to hit something. Don't hit anything. Bradley crew ignores incoming fire. Focused on engagement sequence. 3:55 on 15 p.m. 12 seconds after first kill. Bradley gunner switches to Bushmaster. Engages first BMP at range 400 meters. Autocannon fires. 40 rounds in 3-second bursts. 25mm armor piercing. BMP side armor is thin. Designed against small arms. Not against autocannon. Rounds penetrate. BMP burns. Crew and infantry inside bail out. Some survive. Some don't. Second kill. 3:55 to 30 p.m. 15 seconds later. Third kill. Second BMP. Same technique. Side shot. Bushmaster burst. Penetration. Fire. Crew evacuates. BMP is mission killed even if recoverable later. For this engagement, destroyed. Russian column is panicking. 2 vehicles dead. 1 tank dead. Enemy still not precisely located. Russian doctrine says suppress threat and withdraw, or assault toward threat with infantry. Column does neither, just sits exposed. Takes fire. Dies. Some vehicles try to reverse. Slow. Awkward. Still exposed. Some try to turn around. Expose flanks completely. Perfect targets. 3:56 p.m. Fourth kill. BTR 82A. 30-second burst. Side penetration. Vehicle burns. Infantry dismounts under fire. Some hit by Bradley coaxial machine gun. Rest scatter. Suppressed. No longer combat effective. 3:56:30 p.m. Fifth kill. Second tank. T-72. Tried to reverse. Move slowly. Exposed side. TOW missile. Impact. Fire. Catastrophic kill. Crew might survive. Tank doesn't. Fifth kill in 90 seconds. Russian column is destroyed. Functionally, 6 vehicles remain. All exposed. All under fire. All trying to escape or hide. None succeeding. Bradley crew continues engagement. Methodical. Professional. Not excited. Not rushed. Just executing. This is what training produces. Calm under pressure. Systematic violence. 3:57 p.m. Sixth kill. Third BMP. Tried to hide behind destroyed BTR. Bushmaster penetrates both. BMP burns. Seventh kill. Another BTR. Attempting to flee cross country. Terrain is soft. Vehicle gets stuck. Bushmaster. Fire. Crew abandons. Eighth kill. Third BTR. Can't decide whether to fight or flee. Does neither effectively. Dies trying. 3:58 Mod p.m. Ninth kill. Truck with infantry and supplies. Trying to reverse on row. Can't turn around. Blocked by destroyed vehicles. Bushmaster. Truck explodes. Fuel. Ammunition. Catastrophic secondary explosions. Infantry dead or scattered. 10th kill. Second truck. Already fleeing. 420 meters away. Long shot for Bushmaster. Gunner aims carefully. Burst. Hits. Truck stops. Burns. Crew and passengers bail out. Run. Some survive. Truck doesn't. 4:02 p.m. 11th kill. 4th BTR. Been trying to hide behind terrain fall. Partial concealment. Bradley crew patient. Wait for clear shot. BTR attempts to reposition. Exposes itself. Bushmaster. Multiple bursts. Penetration uncertain at this angle. But fire effect achieved. BTR stops. Crew evacuates. Vehicle abandoned. 11 for 11. 4:03 p.m. Bradley crew ceases fire. 11 targets. 11 kills. 15 minutes. Mission complete. Now survival phase. Russian response will come. Artillery probably already inbound. Must displace. Bradley reverses into tree line. Moves to alternate position 400 meters away. Waits. Observes. Russian artillery arrives. Shells destroyed column. Kills their own wounded probably. Doesn't hit Bradley. Crew survived. Mission successful. Textbook execution. Now the analysis. how this happened, what it means. Information dominance. Bradley had thermal sights, saw Russians before Russians saw Bradley. This advantage enabled ambush, enabled first shot capability, enabled engagement on Bradley's terms. Russians advanced blind, optically limited in Soviet-era vehicles. Never saw Bradley precisely, just knew general direction after first shot. By then, too late. The information advantage is decisive in modern warfare. Technology provides that advantage, but only if crews know how to exploit it. Tactical positioning. Bradley was positioned perfectly, hull down behind terrain, in tree line, thermal camouflage. Russians were exposed, on road, in column, perfect targets. This positioning wasn't luck. Commander selected it. Knew Russian approach routes, positioned to maximize Bradley's advantages while minimizing exposure. That's professional tactics, that's training, that's experience. Russians positioned themselves poorly, bunched, predictable, no security. That's doctrinal rigidity. That's inadequate training. That's why they died. Crew competence. Bradley crew executed flawlessly. 15 minutes, 11 kills, 0 mistakes. Gunner hit every target. Commander managed engagement sequence perfectly. Driver position and prepared escape. His competence comes from training, Western training, NATO standard, muscle memory, practice procedures, calm execution under stress. Russian crews panicked, didn't suppress effectively, didn't maneuver effectively, didn't communicate effectively, just died. Competence gap is more decisive than technology gap. Russian tactical failure. Everything Russians did was wrong. Moving without reconnaissance. Column formation in contested area. No air defense. No dismounted security. When ambushed, no effective response. Some tried to fight. Some tried to flee. Non-coordinated. Just individual survival attempts. All failed. This is what happens when doctrine is followed mechanically without tactical understanding. Russians were following procedures. Procedures got them killed. Equipment matters, but isn't decisive. Bradley is good vehicle, but not invincible. Russian BMPs can kill Bradley. T-72s definitely can. But Russians never got chance because Bradley crew used equipment correctly, positioned correctly, engaged correctly. Equipment enables competence, doesn't replace it. Ukrainian crews using Soviet equipment with Western training achieve similar results sometimes. Western equipment with poor training achieves nothing. Robotyne proves equipment, does training plus tactics, victory. Any element alone is insufficient. 3 questions from the beginning. Time to answer them. How did one Bradley kill 11 vehicles in 15 minutes? Information advantage. Thermal sights saw Russians first. Tactical positioning. Hull down in tree line versus exposed on road. Crew competence. Systematic engagement. Perfect execution. Russian failures. Poor reconnaissance. No security. Panic when ambushed. All factors combined. Technology enabled. Training executed. Russians cooperated by providing perfect target. Result: massacre. Why did Russians provide perfect target? Doctrinal rigidity. Moving in column because doctrine says mechanized forces move in columns. No adaptation for contested environment. Inadequate training. Crews didn't recognize danger until too late. Complacency. Area seems secure. Wasn't. Institutional failures. Russian military doesn't train for dynamic tactical environments. Trains for doctrinal scenarios. Reality doesn't match doctrine. Casualties prove gap. What does this reveal about modern warfare asymmetry? Western training produces crews who think tactically. Soviet training produces crews who follow doctrine. Western equipment provides information advantages. Soviet equipment doesn't. Western military culture emphasizes initiative. Soviet culture emphasizes obedience. These asymmetries compound, produce results like Robotyne, where one Western trained crew destroys entire conventionally trained column. Asymmetry isn't just technology. It's culture, training, doctrine, and competence. All favor Western approach. All proved at Robotyne. The lesson from Robotyne is that technology without training is expensive scrap metal. Training without equipment is inadequate for modern warfare. But equipment plus training plus tactical competence creates multiplicative effect. One Bradley crew destroyed force that should have required multiple vehicles to defeat, because Bradley crew used every advantage correctly. Russians provided disadvantages. Combination created disproportionate outcome. This is what force multiplication looks like. Not one vehicle fighting like 10, one crew fighting smarter than 10 enemy crews. That's the real advantage. This is IronBullet. We analyze battles that define wars. Robotyne ambush defines what Western equipment and training can achieve in Ukrainian hands. 11 kills, 15 minutes, 0 losses. This isn't normal. This is exceptional execution against incompetent enemy. Russians weren't weak, were equipped, were moving tactically according to doctrine. But doctrine was wrong. Training was inadequate. Competence was insufficient. Paid price, 11 vehicles, dozens of casualties, total tactical defeat. Bradley crew goes home, Russians go to morgue or hospital. Asymmetry is complete. Subscribe to IronBullet, because in modern warfare, competence matters more than numbers. One well-trained crew with good equipment defeats many poorly trained crews with adequate equipment. Robotyne proves this. Bradley proves this. Ukrainian training proves this. Russian failures prove this. War is changing. Technology provides advantages, but humans exploit advantages or fail to. Bradley crew exploited perfectly. Russian column failed completely. Gap between competence levels is measured in destroyed vehicles and dead soldiers. 15 minutes, 11 vehicles, 1 crew. That's modern warfare when asymmetry is total. Real battles, real tactics, real consequences. Stay informed.